Pricing. Pricing is critical. Pricing is critical. So when you talk about your pricing, you want to, for a lot of course creators, coaches, consultants, agency owners, anybody like that, if you charge high ticket for what you do, what I found is a lot of people are very, very undercharging for what they do. As an example, had a client, her name was Carol. Carol came to me and she helped women with their hormones, and she would charge $100 for an hour call. And that was about it. That was about it. And sometimes less than that. And so Carol was having a hard time. And what her complaint was, her frustration was, she's working with these clients and nobody was implementing what she asked them to do. And what she felt that she offered, and I know to be true, what she did offer was amazing, that people weren't taking advantage of that. They just weren't doing it. And it was frustrating her. She just did not know what to do. So, worked with her to raise her prices, and she fought on that. And so what we did in the end was had her raise her prices. And I told her, you need to start with 5K. She didn't have the faith to do that. And I want to pause there and touch on that. Here's the thing. Here's the problem, is a lot of service providers, people that offer advice or service or any of the things I talked about and the people I talked about, right? Course creators, consultants, coaches, any of those people, even artists do this, is the problem is they attach the amount of time that they spend as what the value should be. Part of that is because that's how they buy. And as an example, for somebody to say, I charged $100 an hour, that sounds like a lot. They feel like they're getting over on people for something that's really easy for them to give them, right? And that, folks, is a problem. So one of the things that you want to do is you want to, instead of thinking about what your time is worth, you want to think about what is the outcome that this person will get if they work with me. As an example, I help course creators, coaches, everybody that I talked about before, service providers, agency owners, basically grow and scale their companies through a sales system and inner work together. So if I could help somebody go from $5,000, $10,000 a month to a $50,000+ a month, what's that worth to them? What would that be worth to you? 50 grand a month times 12 months, it's $600,000 on the way up to do a lot more than that once they understand the processes and everything that go along with that. So what does that mean? What does that mean to you? So rather than attaching your value and what you charge to clients based on the clock, based on how much time you spend with them, like you spend 3 hours with them, I don't know if I should charge $500 for that. What if you charge based on the outcome they got? So, as an example, would it be worth it to you if you could make in the next 90 days $100,000 and the investment for that was $10K? If you really believe that outcome could happen, you'd be like, oh yeah, how many times can I do that? What would it be for $1 million, right? So therein lies the secret, the sauce to how you can start up-leveling what you do with your company, with the service that you provide. Even if you're an artist, as you can see, I have a special heart for artists. Like in the background is all of my wife's, actually in the room I'm in is all my wife's art. And in that background over there is her art as well. So it's just very, very common for artists to undercharge for what they do, because they feel it's a weird thing. But there's self-judgment, there's worthy, imposter syndrome, and those types of things. So the first thing that I really wanted to say to you is that when it comes to your prices, you should charge more unattach yourself from the clock and attach what you're charging, what your offer is, the price of your offer, link that to the outcome that you're getting somebody. Okay. Link that to the outcome that you're providing to the person that you're working with, that you're helping. It will make your life so much easier you don't even know. Especially if you want to get to 100K plus in 90 days, you can't do that selling $50, $100 products. I mean, it's just impossible. I'm not going to do the math because I don't want to do it. You do the math if that's what you want to do. And so if you just do some math, and I'm going to whiteboard this, we'll jump over to the whiteboard and I'll show you that. So pricing is important. Now, let me talk about the main reason pricing appropriately for the value, for the outcome, for the results that you get people is so important. I'm going to give you a little secret. It's not about you. It's not about you. Not about you. It's about your client. I'm going to give you a story. This is a true story. So there's a couple of fitness consultants, coaches. One of them is charging $50, $100, would like do 5 sessions for $100 each. And great coach trainer. The other one, instead of doing that, charged $15K working for high-end, for CEO types, but got results. 12 weeks, you'll lose 30, 40 pounds. You'll feel the best you ever did. You'll have mental clarity, all of those things. 2 trainers. This one made way more money. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the perception of your customer, of your prospects, when they look at a cheap product, they don't know that they can trust you because it looks cheap. It's like, I don't know how good can that be? $500? And I don't know, man. Is he good? Is she good? These are the thoughts going through the mind of your prospect, by the way. Like if you charge a cheap product, they're like, oh, well, that's cheap. I could probably go find that on YouTube. I could probably find that online for free. I'm not spending $500, $100. This person, $15,000. It's like, hey, they must be good. Must be good. And they have some sort of sauce. And I know they're working with CEOs and founders and things like that, right? The other thing they know they can trust you because if they give you 15 grand to change their life and get their health in order, they know that this isn't a game for you. They know that you're in it and you're probably going to deliver because of the price and the investment that you're asking. Are you catching that? Are you catching that? Your price reflects how your prospects will look at you. And this is a little zen, but the higher you charge, the more they're gonna, wow, like this person, the more they're going to perceive value there's gonna be there for you. Okay, so your prospects are gonna trust you, they're gonna be more perceived value. The other thing, and again, this is not about you, they are gonna be more inclined to actually do the work. Because if I just drop $100, $400, $500 on something, if I don't follow through or do anything with it, am I okay? Is my life okay? Do I have any regrets? No. However, if I spend 15 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand on a program, on coaching, consulting, piece of art, and not only am I going to value it more, but on those service providers, doggone better believe I'm going to follow through and do the work because it's important. So you having that offer of a higher ticket, higher value offer and me making the investment, before I pull that trigger, I'm going to ask myself, are you going to do this? Are you going to follow through? Man, I'm going to probably have to, let me think about where I'm going to carve off time on my schedule to make sure this gets done. Okay. This is pricing, guys. And this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg to it. But it's really, really, really important, especially if you want to make 100K plus or big numbers in the next 90 days. This is a critical component, and I'll dive more into it. Maybe I'll do a whiteboard, maybe I won't. But let's just do some easy math now so that I don't necessarily have to do my whiteboard. Let's talk about that right now. So you've got an offer. Let's say you want to make 30K in a month. Well, you can have a $1,000 offer that you'd have to sell 30 of those, right? 30 of those in a month. So that's what's that, 15. You got to sell 4 or 5 a week. 5, 6. No, you've got to sell 6, actually 7-ish, 7 to 8 per week of $1,000 offer. Think of the work and marketing and everything it takes to be able to deliver that, to attract enough people to sell 30 of those. Okay, so now watch this. Let's just flip the numbers. Instead of a $1,000 offer, let's make it a $3,000 offer. You have a $3,000 offer. How many of those do you need to sell to have 30,000 at the end of the month? 10, just 10. Instead of 30, 10. 10 ends up being 2.5 or 2 to 3 per week. You guys catching that? 2 to 3 per week. Wow. So let's ramp it up again. What if, now I want you to imagine, I want you to picture this. Now, I know you might be getting nervous, but right now, figure out a way and say, I'm going to charge 10 grand, 10K. How many sales at 10K do you need to make 30 grand at the end of the month? You're so good at math. 3, just 3, just 3. Okay. Let's go one more step. Right now, I want you to quickly imagine you have a $30,000 offer. 30K. You heard me right. 30K. How many of those do you need to sell to make $30,000 a month? 1. Now, I know you followed me on the math. This is really easy math, by the way, right? Except for when I was dealing with 30 per month. That's 6, 5, 6, 7 or 8 a month, right? So 30K, you just need to sell 1 of those a month. Now, the math seems really easy and great. Let me ask you a question. Did you own when I said 30K? How did that make you feel? When I said 10K, how did that make you feel? I'm going to bet that even when I started at 3K, you felt some type of way. Then 10K, I didn't even stop at 5K. I just went to 10K, right, to flip the numbers. And I went to 30K. And you probably, if you really try to imagine yourself doing it, you probably got butterflies, a little bit nervous, right? Like, oh, I can't. Then you just disconnected. I can't do that. But let's back up a little bit. Okay, 10K. Let me ask you a question. In your line of work, again, you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're a course creator, you're an artist or whatever. In your line of work, is there somebody, 1, let's say 3 people in your state, the whole state, that has the wherewithal to give you, to buy $10,000 of what you have to offer? Answer that question. 3 people in your whole state. I know the answer. That's a yes. I live in Texas. I know it's way more than that in Texas, right? So per month, could you pull 3 people per month out of your state to pay you to invest, to enroll in your program, whatever it is that you have? Answer that is an obvious yes. Now, let's zoom out a little bit, okay? We live in America. We have access to the whole United States. Not only that, all English-speaking countries, United States, Australia, England, the UK, all of that. Canada. So are there 3 people between United States, Canada, the UK, Australia, and then some English-speaking people in Canada, right? There's a lot of people. Are there 3 people that can give you 10K? The answer to that is yes. The answer to that is yes. So here's the thing. 2 things. First, you've got to be able to package your service, your offer, what you're offering to people for money, that when you say it's 10K, when you say it like this, it's just 10K. Because guess what? To them, it's just 10K. It's just 10K. So what does that mean? It means you pack your service, your offer with so much value that it's just 10K. Okay? Guys, that's some fire I just gave you. Fire that I just gave you. Okay? Now, the other part to this is really important. It has to do with what I talked about earlier. It really has to do with you. It has to do with who you are. And not just who you are, it's how you see yourself. Because it doesn't matter if you've got a 10K offer and you pack that thing with value, like it's worth $500,000, but I'm just charging you, you're investing just 10K. That's one thing. But can you say it with your chest if you know what that means? If you know, you know. You say it with your chest, you mean it. Because if you can't, that means there's something going on with you. There's a block. There's these shades, these lenses that you're wearing that make you look at yourself a certain type of way. I'm not the type of person. I can't do that because I can't. If you say I can't do that because whatever that because is for you right now, that's that block. And that's something, that's what I talked about earlier. It's the inner work. That's the inner work that needs to be fixed, because until you have that you actually believe and know that you can deliver this value. Now, I'm not saying there won't be times where you're a little nervous when you first start out, but if you don't believe that and believe that you can come up with something like that, this is a block that needs to be removed. And that takes inner work. Okay. So this has been pricing. You need help with that. I help coaches, creators, coaches, consultants, course creators. If you're an artist having an issue with that, I help you be able to add these things, lock these things into your business with ease and flow, so that you can get out of your own way, live the lifestyle that you want, have the time freedom, location freedom, and the income that you want and deserve for you and your family. You want help with that? There is a link in the description. Just click that. I think it says help, hop on a call with Mike or something like that. Just click that. You can do that. And there may or may not be at this time an additional like freebie or something to join our newsletter. I'll have that in there as soon as I get a chance to put that up there. But guys, what I've just told you, this is one of the keys to unlock you to moving out of wherever you are financially into a whole nother world of opportunity and things like that. And I want to give you one example. As of this recording, last month, I helped somebody. The month before was at zero, had zero. They had made some sales over a few months, but they were at zero just last month. This is recent, in April, had a $52,000 month. Actually, $56,000 month with $52,000 cash collected. My question to you is, how would that change your life? How would that change your family's life? What kind of stress would that relieve in terms of your bills? Hope this helps. There's more value coming. Watch the next video that's coming up. It may it's probably one of these. It has to do either with your offer or numbers, more numbers. But the numbers is where it gets really cool and crazy. And we give you confidence and peace of mind that you can make this happen. All right. I'm Mike. I hope this helps. And remember, you're amazing.